Okay, but yeah, it's time to it's 10 now. It's time to start ranking things. I mean, like there's a couple of these that are going to be really obvious. I'm just going to go with some of the super obvious ones. You go up here. It's hard for me to see which ones are which. You're like, you go up here. How am I failing to spot him? There he is. Something like, I don't know which of those is better. I'm just gonna get like what I think are like top tiers up there. And then I'll try and I'll rank them like within themselves. And probably, are we Ryoshu? The K-Corp Lu. I mean, that's kind of the issue. How do I want to rank this? I think I'm going to rank these off of how strong they are and how funny they are. I think that's a crucial part of it. Like, I think a lot of the top tiers are pretty funny. I think K-Corp Lu is super powerful. I think he's bad for damage. That's the thing. I'm going to give him... I think I might want to give him A tier because of the fact that he... Well, he can survive super well. He can do solo stuff, but solo stuff doesn't define how well a unit can do. I'm kind of looking at a lot of the offensive prowess. Now, the fact he can live forever makes him, like, insanely good, especially in Mirror Dungeon. But when it gets to stuff like Refraction Railway, too, like, he's not going to be as great. Talking about Talisman Fair, could somehow explain how support passive works? Isn't this detrimental because it activates on 4 residents and inflicts 8 talisman, which is above the cap? Yeah, his support passive seems awful. K-Corp is basically immortal. Indeed. He's got great survivability, but which is enough to put him to A tier. I think, isn't it just one turn of huge rupture damage? Yeah, pretty much. Talisman Sinclair's support passive seems awful. It's just killing people. Taehong can kind of trivialize the bull. Yeah. Main issue is Refraction Railway. He's not going to be as good because he's going to live long and he's not going to do enough damage to, like, be that big of a benefit. I don't know. I understand why people are pushing for K-Corp to be Honglu to be S. Maybe he should be at, like, bottom of S. For some reason I thought Slime Mail would have self-healing. I think that's a fair thing to assume. Especially because it did seem very K-Corpy. I wouldn't have been surprised if it had self-healing stuff, but it doesn't. It's just bad. Okay, I'm gonna put, like, before I continue this, I'm gonna put all of the default sinners here, I think. And now I'll move them later. This is just because I think all of them are, like, C tier type units for the most part. Some of them are different. Like, Otis is, like, B or A tier. Mersault and Faust defaults are kind of awful. You're a D tier. I'm gonna move a bunch of units in, and I'm gonna see what you guys think about some of these decisions. Is this order best to worst? It's not. It will be when I finish it. For now, it's just vague thoughts, and I'm gonna order it as we go. The Goop Mill would give the damage up the other Goop Boys had. K-Corp Honglu's best thing in the game isn't even that bad damage-wise, so it makes sense from the S tier. That is true. Horizontally, it will be. It's not yet. Eventually, I'm gonna. We're taking it one step at a time. That's the thing. But like the leftmost is the best as far as like stuff in that tier goes. Once I'm finished with it, a lot of these units are just meh. I'm putting him in D. Sunshower Heath is decent, but like he takes too much effort to build around Trigger like him to get like the. And it takes a lot of effort to get, like, roughly the same thing. Will you rate egos as well? I will. Don't worry, that's part of the plan. I'm going to do identities, and I'm going to do egos, and then I might do, like, all abnos, just based on how much I like them. But identities and egos are, like, a definite yes. That's the plan. See, honestly, I think Elgor Faust is A tier. I think this unit's... Her tertiary is super good, and she's really good at building a fluid sac. Now, 7 Yisong is decent. I think 7 Yisong deserves to go into B tier. The Pier's weakness can be pretty good when built around, and his passive can be really nice if you can trigger it. I think, yeah, I'm not going to bother sorting within tiers for now. Um, what do I think about you? Here we go with Suncliff Slander. He's okay. I like him. I like him. He's funny. He's awful, though. He's funny and awful. Abno's theoretical for each sinner. I do like the idea of doing that, though. I think I have actually tried doing stuff like that before. I might do something like that afterwards. That could be a nice, like, fourth one. You're like an A tier, honestly. Rose Spanner can have some really good damage with her secondary and her tertiary, even for a tremor unit. Now, you were the person who was defending, what is your name? To, I'm American. I'm gonna butcher anything that isn't, like, very clearly, like, traditional English stuff. Yeah, Quem. I'm gonna call you Quem. Hopefully that's fine. You're the one who was, like, talking about that before. Yeah, I do agree. Sunshower is good. They're all good, honestly. He deserves to be, like, higher than, like, some of these units. I think upper D. I think he's probably gonna be, like, the upper D. He's, like, the best D tier unit, I'd say. Like, he's better than Warp Mersault, because Warp Mersault just kind of doesn't do anything as well. Elfhouse S1 only rolls up to 9, but it's just so weird. Like, why isn't it 10? Yeah. Yeah, it looks... She's got, like, a strange, like, set of... She's got, like, Rupture and Poise and, like, Haste stuff. She's doesn't have enough Rupture to be, like, a good Rupture unit, but, like... The Haste stuff can be funny on her. Her tertiary is just super good. One of the best tertiaries in the game, especially for K-Corp. L-Corp has shown to be really good in Mirror Dungeon. Yes. Sunshower is much better than base Yisung. Yisung is too high. Oh yes, that is one that deserves to be moved down. That's for sure. Base Yisung is kind of awful. I think I don't know the base stuff. No, I know, like, the better base egos are, like, you. Base Honglu isn't bad. He's probably, like, upper C, if anything. Yeah, it's fine. Your name is basically saying, who asked in Portuguese. I see. That is a funny name. Unfortunately, I'm butcher it. Guess the 9 is a balance out of race to go to third skill is. Hi. Hello, cool dog. Especially for a 2-star. Yes. Probably, like, one of the better 2-stars. Speaking of better 2-stars, I think he deserves to be up here. I don't like him as much as I used to. I used Kurakumo Honglu a lot early on, I'd say, but he just doesn't win clashes anymore. He does good damage with the secondary if he hits it, and he can get good paralysis with the tertiary, but, like, he needs to win clashes to be able to be more useful, and he's not good at that. Let's see. We'll hear to good thoughts on it. You're, like, an upper A here, honestly. You're, like, top of A, I think, so far. Yeah, that makes sense. Is there anyone who's... Oh, you're atrociously bad, that's for sure. I honestly... Like, I've actually, like, considered using Warp Mersault. I think... Does this list include passives as well? I'm not considering support passives. I don't think support passives are anything I'm breaking them off, but I'm including their actual, like, passives and stuff. Without passives, K-Corp Honglu would be, like, B tier. But if you're talking about support passives, I think that's too hard of a thing to rank. Because that's kind of like ranking them about how good they are to not be in your team, which feels a little, Ishmael and Mersault, he would be much higher. Oh, Ishmael's fairly good, though, yeah? Okay. Low Remit Frost carried you Mirrored in too hard with R-Corp, Mersault, and W-Corp gone. Oh yeah, absolutely. Very strong unit. I think another unit who's really, like, shown her true stripes recently, K-Corp Otis. I don't know if she's like upper B possibly. I don't know if she's good enough to be, like, A tier. Maybe. I feel like this is another unit people have been talking about a lot recently. You know? Jeff Gregor, S tier for real, for real. Can't stand such slander of your funny 5 to 9 bug, man. Yeah, like, let me look at what he does. 4 plus 2, 6 plus 8, 5 plus 1. R-Corp Mersault is S for me. That's a good... Huh. I don't know if I'd put him in S. I think he's A, honestly. He's definitely the best Mersault identity by, like, far. I think there's no Mersault identity that comes, like, even close to being A other than him. I think he's pretty good. I don't know if I'd put him... I think I might put him there, honestly. The charge is nice. Haste stuff is funny. I feel like I haven't seen his true colors yet. I don't know how good he could be, theoretically. Could be pretty good. You've actually brought Chef Gregor into hard mode because of his healing. Because how awful his skills are, don't matter when I spam leg or domain. That is true. He takes so much damage. That is true, but I don't think he... I think he doesn't pale... He pales in comparison to the amount of damage that Honglu, K-Corp Honglu can take. Lu Ishmael is going to be high for the fact her egos work well with her. Oh. That message sent twice? Interesting. I don't know why that happened, but that is silly. Oh yeah, I do really like Leo Ishmael. This is like a really fun unit. Honestly, top of A maybe. Above Otis or below Otis? I don't know. Somewhere in that range. Let's see. N-Corp, you're like B. Sorry, it's fine. Don't worry. I just think it's funny. Did it just like not go through, or as far as you know, or did you just accidentally send it twice? Whatever it is, it's perfectly fine. Reindeer Ishmael. I don't know. Okay, Kurokuma Ryoshi, I feel like people have been talking about Ting Ting Honglu's definitely S tier. Oh, I agree. This is one of the most fun units in the game. Especially like if you can get something that's synergized with Mutilate. I think he gets into S tier if nothing else because he's really funny. Accidentally, yeah, but it's fine. You're like a B tier unit. You are like C or D tier, probably D tier. Worst thing about armor, so the stagger threshold is 40% on the usual 50% for tanks for whatever reason. Yeah, it's still like pretty good. That's for sure. He can take a lot of damage, and he can deal a lot of damage. Funny ego, you're like, I think you'd be like D tier. It's a funny rupture unit. Once again, I'm gonna get people into tiers first before I bother too much with trying to sort them, I think. You're like a C tier unit. You're like a C tier unit. You're an A tier. I think the two Shi associations deserve an A tier. The two good Shi associations. The other's like a C tier. You know the song that say, shot, everybody. I know that with High and Long, but release shot with Shank. I might know that song if I heard it. I actually don't know. Ting 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 is S tier only if you get to skill 2 and skill 3 because his skill 1 is awful. That's true, but both his skill 2 and his skill 3 are really funny. And I think you can get around using skill 1 like decently enough. Even if his skill 1 is awful, he deserves it for being like possibly the funniest unit. With his like bootleg onrush. It's that meme song. Yeah, I can imagine. I don't know the song, I'm sure, but I can imagine like a dun dun. Yeah. I can comprehend the joke. 7 Ryoshu. I like 7 Ryoshu. I think 7 Ryoshu is not bad. I don't know if that's like popular opinion though. 7 Ryoshu is like super good with slash stuff. Kurokuma Ryoshu is also very good. Like tier good maybe. Why is N-Corp C with T tier? He's B tier at the very least. Is he? Maybe. We'll see. He's got the damage stuff, but like he's very unique in the fact that he doesn't synergize well with like anything. That's the issue. He's got barely any nailed bleed support, despite being an N-Corp unit, and he doesn't help with any other status effect. And the way the game's going, I think status effects matter a lot. I can see why you put him B tier. He's good damage. He classes very well, yeah. N-Corp is one of the best N-Corp units. 7 Ryoshu is not bad in Mirror Dungeon. One of the main contenders for hard modes, too. Geoda's too, by the way. Yeah, I think I've got Geoda's high. Did I not place her yet? Oh, I did place her here, yeah. Because her skill... Geoda's skill 3 is just really good. Oh, you're an A unit. I feel like I'm putting a lot of units in A. I think there's a lot of units I think are really good, but not like quite busted levels of good. That's why you deserve that. You deserve like a B tier. I think I think all the Liu units except for Ishmael deserve to be in like the same rough spot in B tier. Like they're really good with like with burn stuff. They're like funny blunt damage, which is always like funny. Are you C? You're like I think Rosebanner and Mersault's fine. I think that about most Mersaults. They're mostly like C tier stuff. Rosebanner's like not bad. He's like a funny tank. He's good nails. He's probably one of the best as far as like pure nail infliction goes, I think. Not like Grip Faust levels, but I think like close. Geodes also fuels our center ego, which is an extremely good role for a death. Yes, absolutely. And you can just you can build the poise with that, which works really nicely if you have some eco gifts to synergize with that. Some regions 7 Ryoshu, Elfos, and Shidon just roll very high despite being a 2-star. Use them every time in your Mirror Dungeon 2 runs, never disappointed. Based on should be D tier though, she's kinda mid. I agree. I think that's fair. That's one of the ones I never use. Like the only ones I've used are like I've used some of these ones before. I think most of them are C. Which one's your B? Is Honglu's default good enough to deserve better? I do think it's like a decent default because it's got like it's actually not that special. Nah. I thought it was gonna be better than that, but I guess I'm misremembering. Oh yeah, Spice Bush is A, that's for sure. I think he's higher than that, but like the Yisung, Faust, and Mersault have really busted egos. Baesong is good enough to be in B tier, maybe even A tier just because of his clash power. It is pretty good. I think, yeah. Anyone else? I've heard a lot of people talking like highly of base Heathcliff like when the game released, like, oh, use him in Kanto 3 if you don't have anything better. He's really good because he's blunt stuff. I think it's some blunt, but it's not like too much. Okay, It's hard to say. Dawn's just better, Gregor. So he also needs to get lower if Dawn is D. That's right, base Gregor exists. 39. Oh, right, you've got single coin stuff, and that's it. Yeah. But some characters' passives are considered weak are getting a rework. Oh yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be changed soon. This is for the current state of the game. A lot will be changed soon. All offense IDs will be nerfed when they change the offense and defensive system. We'll have to see. I don't know how much of a difference it makes. It's really hard to like feel the difference because of... It's a bit hard to like feel it beyond just kind of like vague vibes as far as how that stuff works. By the way, growing some tomatoes right now and they're looking very nice and healthy. That's cool. I want to grow stuff. I think plants could be nice. I've got like one potted plant. And it's like alive despite getting like no sunlight and water. And you know, that's pretty cool. It's like the kind of plant that can survive without much of that. Uptie 4 and thread spinning. Yeah, that will change a lot of stuff. High on hopium for Uptie 4. Absolutely, yeah. A lot of units need it. A lot of units do really need it. Oh god. Bunny Boy is that consistently good unit. Absolutely. Grip Sinclair, I think Grip Sinclair has higher like potential, but like he falls off in Mirror Dungeon sometimes now. He's got a lot more inconsistency than he used to. First Swimmer's still not bad. His skill 2 can usually debuff by itself at high sanity. I think he's not that bad, and I think he deserves like maybe like a higher C tier. Maybe like a D unit. You're like good, maybe? Amount of tremor county reduces does suck, though. I hate that about the new stuff. I hate that about the new tremor stuff. It just reduces tremor, which is so sad. Oh, you're like an A tier. You're like Honestly, Reindeer HMO's B tier. She could be funny, but it doesn't work enough. Hear this for everything, right? Including Refraction Railway. It's just overall that it's hard to determine a lot of stuff, but overall, whole canister of Hopium for Uptie 4 is something more than just number buffs. I hope so too. Yeah, we'll have to see. Like a nerf for the bust units and a buff for the weak ones. The post explains better. Yes, absolutely. But I think it's more so based about the scaling, though. I think we're not going to feel it as much as we would if it was introduced, say, like a year ago, like in the future. Issue with Grip Player is the 30 is I think a 35 SP Sinclair that happens in Mirror Dungeon. Well, he doesn't gain SP as much as he used to because the fact it's just 10 per kill. Now he gains it even in against like weaker enemies, which can be unfortunate. What if it comes soon? We'd like to see what it looks like. It doesn't seem like it's going to be this week. It honestly, if it is still going to be this week, it's going to be, if it's still going to be this month, it has to be next week alongside Kanto of the next mid-chapter. But that does feel like it would be an insanely big update, so I do think it might be pushed back to August. But surely they would have said something if it was going to be this week. They would have said something on Friday. Rosebander Gregor, he can afflict rupture. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Okay, this is a vague tier list, but we need to actually sort a lot of stuff now. Just suffer mirrored and fluid sack is that good. None of the buffs are going to be enough for most of the IDs to be H. Not a lot of units need a gimmick buff. People who do need gimmick buffs. This guy, if you haven't penned it in a super nothing mirror dungeon too hard. That is true. You can always spam like egos. Bet is that update 4 will be coming day 26. Yeah, the mid chapter update could be. You can spam to get resources and SP reduction. I haven't used Impending Day a lot anymore. The corrosion's like super powerful because of the attack power on a failed kill, but I don't get enough. It actually doesn't gain SP for killing weaker enemies, just higher level ones that only 10 SP now. Oh. You only gain save for killing higher level enemies. No. Did they? Is that? I thought that's what. Okay, I don't know. I guess I misread that patch note thing. See, this is a vague list. I've got a lot I need to change though. Still. Oh god. Let me see. I'm gonna pull up the Project Moon Twitter just so I can check. Or I guess it's Limbus Twitter, not Project Moon. But like, I always search Project Moon initially just because I mistake. Chapters buff base egos after completion for that specific center. That would be cool. I do want a funnier, maybe that'll be what Uptie 4 is for Crow's Eye View. Only 10. Yeah, I know it's only 10. But when does it get triggered? Is it... Last update, yes. Which one is it? The contents, is it here? Yeah, defeated by a unit. It says it should be 10 SP regained regardless of level difference in these patches. So why is Sun Shower A tier? The criteria for a character to reach A tier. A tier units are pretty solid, but not like the most busted. So I should not be outside of the D tier unless this is really just because of how funny her gimmick is. Oh yeah, that's true. She is awful. I think that's fair. I think A tier units are just ones that are very strong, but like not like meta-defining type units, you know? Like I think these ones are meta-defining units and also just really funny as far as Ting Tang goes. I don't know if he's meta. Like, let's see, how do I feel about this? You were saying move Gregor down. I think Gregor's SP gained when killing higher leveled enemies. The limit ID will be Otis for no reason other than getting 2 duplicates 7 section. Don't pull a single new ID in the game, just old stuff from season 1. K-Corp House has been running really well in Mirrored into 2 arc. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's why she's high A. Hawaiian Hong Lu is meta. He's meta in my eyes, if nothing else. I don't... Hard to say. Yeah, I think I'm liking this S tier. I think S tier is like pretty set. He's 7. And probably in this order. I maybe not. I don't know if I'm still overvaluing Warp Dawn, but Warp Dawn still does really well. Sunshine Healing is pretty meta too, XP. So he's definitely deserved to be higher up. Maybe like there. Why Spice Bush not an S tier? That's true. Kinda deserves it. If I want to move someone out though, do I do this? Is that the solution? Is it to do something like this? Find Honglu the rolls really high without Honglu. His tertiary is just stupid. That's the best part about Ting Tang Honglu. I also love the Hawaiian Honglu just name because he just got a Hawaiian shirt. Everyone like before Limbus release, everyone was like, why is he wearing a Hawaiian shirt? Similar why people were so confused why they just had normal shirts on for like this Vi identity. But it's because they're undercover. Ego correct. Roll 3 high without Honglu ego. Oh, I see. Any unit that can roll high enough to win a clash without using Mirror Dungeon, without using ego and Mirror Dungeon 2 harder meta right now. Yeah. I think that's fair. You can go down there. K-Corp Honglu is less meta than Ting Ting for sure if you're going to demote one of them. Ting Ting Honglu is really good at clashing though. Yeah. I agree. I honestly agree. Something like this might be nice. K-Corp Honglu is really good. That's for sure. But he's in the bat and he's not like... He doesn't win clashes as well. And basically single coin IDs, lol. Yeah. You're doing like fairly well right now. Maybe the sheep people should move down slightly and like these guys deserve to be a little higher. Like something like this. Hey, Honglu is worse than Ting Tang. I agree. Well, gee, I haven't done any solos with K-Corp Honglu. I've failed both times I've tried. Well, I did in Mirror Dungeon 1, but I haven't done in Mirror Dungeon 2 yet. One day, though. One day. You're probably like a weaker for these. We were saying move you down. Like that. Something like this could be good. Are they worse than some of these, though? I think, like, some of these aren't, like, the worst possible things. And, like, honestly, you're fine. He rolls 30, but remember that his skill 3 needs to defeat something to get more damage. Even if it doesn't defeat something, it is one of the strongest tertiaries as far as single coins go. Like, even if we just look at it... Well, that's the wrong one. Like, that's a 5 plus 25. That is a 30. If it gets heads. My perspective, poise is horrible. It is. You're so right for that. It is horrible. Like, K-Corp Rare rolls almost exactly the same 7 Otis because of offense level difference. Why is he lower than her? That's a good question. Eviscerate is funny. Healing stuff. I definitely think he's good. I mean, leg or domain spam. That's what you got to keep in mind with this guy, I guess. I think I definitely overrate 7 Otis. I just pose 90% bad. Enemies are too tanky for the mutilate reset to be reliable. Just want it for the clash win. I do think K-Corp is good. How good do I think he is? 7 Otis does have the... Am I overvaluing 7 Otis? That is the question. Probably. He just feels super good. This passive makes her feel super good. Even getting this weakness analyzed off is nice, even if it doesn't do much most of the time. Paralyze is really good on Mirror Dungeon. There's not many units that can be actually like good paralysis inflictors though. Like K-Corp, or no, not K-Corp, Kurakumo Honglu is good paralysis. Some other people are. Hard to say. Your guy's gonna get sneezed on. That's right. That's the issue. I think that's probably a good spot for him then. I think I'm pretty happy with this A tier. What do you guys think? Limbus will have one of the best tanks in the game, even more than K-Corp Gregor gets easily staggered. That's right. K-Corp Gregor does have the healing stuff, but Pathos and Nebusim is probably what brings her up, but not sure if you're taking egos into account for ranking. I am, that's true. 2 Pathos Mathos is kind of insane. It's not actually that good in Mirror Dungeon too hard a lot of the times because it's not enough to beat like boss rolls, but it's good for like the first couple of floors. It still like consistently wins. Sunshower is a theme of bad horror relationship with all the people who have it. Yeah, if you mean like story-wise, yeah, it's like people who's got like bad relationships with their spouse and their source material, kind of. I don't know, kind of for Odysseus. But like for Heathcliff and Easong, absolutely. If you mean as far as horror relationships, as far as meta goes, then I could see it being too, like, either it's meta or it's awful. LCCB-ish, possibly lower because of iffy clash power and bad growth. She's also insane ruptured. She's like the only like decent rupture unit. What is her growth? Like, growth is so weird. That is kind of awful though, I see. It's more so just like this is just beautiful, and the 5 fragile is a very good support unit, I'd say. Would you do tier list on ego gifts? Ego gifts, that's also a good idea, yeah. Rose Rodian is too low. She rolls very high and has very good damage potential. Only good if her passive, but it isn't that bad. Oh, yeah, your passive is awful. I think she's in a... I actually think she's in a good spot. Because her secondary is kind of similar to K-Corp, or similar to Kurokumo Honolulu, in the fact that it's, you know, really good damage if it works well. Her primary is nothing special. It loses Clash a lot, and her tertiary is pretty good. I think mid-A is, like, pretty fitting for her. If her secondaries, like, coins were applied, you know, like, if she had charge in clashes, she'd be, like, insane. He's saying abused by his wife, or else toxic heath of relationship. Odysseus abandoned his wife and son for a decade at minimum. Yeah. LCB's Ishmael bad clash balanced up by how vital she can be for speedrunning stats, also very tanky. Yeah, but I think this A tier is pretty much, like, that as far as I'm considered, so I think I should move on to B tier next. Which of these am I... If I was given the option of all of these, who am I most likely to take? Honestly, probably you guys or Otis. I think a lot of the you people I have love. I do have a preference for Burn though. My Burn reliance cannot be trusted. Red Sheet. Is Red Sheet good? I haven't used Red Sheet at all recently because of the fact his talisman was broken until recently. And the one time I did use him recently, he did fairly well. I think mid B is probably going to be good enough for him. You're good, you're good, you're good. I don't know. Where does Reindeer belong? That's another question. Because Reindeer is really funny, but in like a bad kind of way. Zhao as Ryoshu is going to be good no matter what. I hope so. I think Enclave should be higher than Heath since he does not need bullets. I think that's a good... I think that is a fair argument to make. I think before, like, a couple updates ago, I would agree that I think he's the best. I don't know. He's not as good. I don't know. I think neither of them have, like, insane clash winning potential. Not as insane as I thought. They definitely do both have insane clash winning potential, though. They've just kind of lost more clashes for me recently than I thought they ever would. Because bullets don't matter for clashing, that's the good thing. And the fragile is really insane from his tertiary, and his tertiary roll is insane. I want to say Reindeer's A tier, but his passive don't. Her passive is awful. She kills her teammates a lot, which is funny. I think she deserves mid B. You've kind of fallen off. Because you pretty much need to be running Mirror Dungeon to have any chance. Oh, I've got a funny idea. I'll let you guys choose. Okay, there's a poll there now. Okay, what do you guys can vote? Grip Sinclair or Rabbit Heathcliff? It should show up like there. We'll see what you guys think. Okay. 3 for Rabbit Heathcliff, 1 for Grip Sinclair. Oh, it's 3-2 now. Wait, you see him just Snow White, Faust, and Dawn the Knight to rescue her. Oh god, this is blocking the entire... That's... that's unfortunate. Oh well, you guys are gonna be invisible for a little bit. It's looking like it's Rabbit Heathcliff. You guys are a little... You're a little dead right now in the bottom right of the screen. I can still read you guys though. It's just a little blocked off. Probably leave all the way. Oh, it's trying to make me vote, isn't it? That's why the chat looks like this. Not letting me vote though. Oh well. And yeah, end the poll. It's Rabbit without a doubt. Remind everyone, longer fights, Arcliff will run out of bullets and Enclair won't. Bullets don't affect clashes though. He can still clash perfectly fine. That's the one thing that's like the saving grace. Bullets only matter for the actual like attack. It doesn't matter for the clash. And yeah, it seems like Rabbit Heathcliff kind of won with a 70 to 30. I think there's definitely a fair argument for both of them. I don't think either side is wrong per se. I think that's fine. You're like I like base Ryoshu. I think she's funny-ish. Ways to manage aim in long fights by using ego. No fight with Arcade last long enough to run him out of bullets. Most fights won't last long enough for content. You just use ego to save on bullets. Impending Day would make him better. Impending Day is a fair argument, but then on the other side, body sack. Most fight won't even last 10 turns at least for me. Let's see if Farm Research would shout any of the generation gifts. Also, Heathcliff Talapoles this can roll 49s. Like, it's insane. But no wait, ego for Faust and then Rose Hunter ego for Dawn was what I thought. Yeah, I'm not really sure how to go about the D tier stuff. Do I think RB Gregor is the worst unit in the game? No. I think these three are probably the weakest, honestly. Yeah, there's like you two can go there, you three can go there. It's something like this. I think this is a good D tier. Hard to say. Definitely very hard to say. Not gonna sugarcoat it. Body sack, quick suppression. You know, the knight I'm talking about is that headless horseman encounter. Yeah. That could make sense. I think, hard to say. The Rose Hunter seems to be like, I don't know if Rose Hunter Dawn makes sense, but maybe. I guess I gotta cycle through C and B tier. So you know, let's just see. What do you guys think about the units in B tier and C tier? Who do you think deserves better? Who do you think deserves worse? Maybe you might deserve better, all things considered, because you're funny, even if nothing else. You kill yourself. Sounds like a threat. Whoops. And these guys are like the defaults that I think are just kind of meh. Like I'll use them on occasion. I'll see like base Ishmael's like decent at clashes. It's kind of better sloshing, funnily enough. L-Corp is, or not? I just said L-Corp. No. N-Corp Dawn. Is N-Corp Dawn good? I don't know. I don't think particularly good. Here itself is pretty soft for me. Roast Banner both deserve to be in B, I'd say. Oh, you're pushing for... You mean both of these two to be in B? Actually, he's so high. He's like middle D tier. That's true. What does he have? Let's pull him up real quick. 1 coin, 1 coin, 2 coins. I like a unit that can kill himself. That's the thing. The question is, do I prefer him over Sunshower for most fights? Videos. You think they're both better? I think that's a fair argument to be made. Heathcliff does have good rolls at least. I think he could go like bottom of C. Hard to say. Ensalt should be in B, not quite good enough to go much higher, but tanks have good value now and Mir doesn't too hard. That's true, but he deserves the D tier. Put my boy Suncliffe in his place. But Sunshower Defender to the end, I see. Fair enough. These are good enough to consider a hard mode, but his intended playstyle kills himself. I do like that. He's like funny in a very bad way. You're saying to put these up higher. What do I think about that? The Rose Spanner, 2 stars. I think his first year is pretty nice. I think his secondary can win clashes occasionally. Being able to flex Rupture count is nice. I think that does make him deserving to be like mid C maybe? Like above, like maybe like here. I think some is the worst and best ego. Identity, yeah. Ethan has like such like polarizing stuff. Like, who's gonna use his AEDD over like his other stuff? His AEDD does like nothing. I don't even remember. Let's see. I can understand putting this one higher. I think putting tanks higher makes sense. I think the K-Corp Lu and R-Corp Rhino Mersault are just in a completely different like level to these two because of the fact that, well, they have a much higher clash and damage output. Sunshine can function a tank if you're feeling testy. Sinclair doesn't even have a niche at all. Definitely worse for sure. A lot of various opinions here. I think the one redeeming thing is that this is the only like Mariachi Sinclair is the only like tank that's got an evade. AD gives him charge. Yeah, which is not even that great for Rabbit because he requires the Wrath Resonance to trigger that. Base Rodion is definitely worse than base Sinclair though. Yeah, I think so. I think they're fairly similar in some aspects. Rodion, like, doesn't she benefit from having negative sanity or something? A little wacky. Sunshower's at least C tier for me. I feel like I gotta commit to the joke, though. I don't know. That is a little toxic, that's for sure. I understand the support. He's the kind of unit that makes me feel like... He's the only unit in the game that makes me, like, feel like... I want to pull my hair out when I'm using it. No, but, he's just weird. And Mersault rebind on skill 2 is kind of insane. Good when you remember his teleport. That is true, yeah. He can spend his charge there. If there was an ego that applies self-sinking, then Foxcliff would be better. AD is super good, but doesn't synergize with the Rabbit since it's much better in Sunshower. It does give him a way to spend a lot of his sanity when he like corrodes it and stuff, that is true. Having a Tath is better than not having a Tath, of course. I getcha. Although, like, I guess some of these I could probably move up, some of them I could probably move down. Do I actually like a lot of these? I feel like I don't know how much I like some of these units. Does Blade Sinclair deserve this high? I don't know if he does. Does Red Sheet Sinclair deserve this much higher than, like... No, he doesn't. He doesn't deserve to be, like, that much higher, I don't think. Something like this, maybe... Deep in thought, trying to, like, piece together all my thoughts on the matter. You deserve lower, I think. Like, there, lower, maybe? Yeah. I like the sound of that. K-Corp is like a zombie, as he needs to be double tapped. Yeah. Take him out, and he just comes back. You gotta make sure. 3 times with Dimension Shredder. He just doesn't die. It's a very funny ego, or very funny identity, that's for sure. Red Sheet is like almost better than 7 Yisong. Is he actually really good? I feel like I like him, but I don't know. I think you probably deserve less. I do think that's fair enough. Red Sheet should stay in B. Yeah. This includes passive. It's including their normal passive. They're not their support passive, because support passive is hard to like rank. If we're considering his support pass, he's got like one of the worst support passes in the game. It's just bad. But we're not ranking that, so I think yeah. Do I like you more than Leo? Good question. Do I like you guys more than Leo? That's a good question. I'm ranking people based on how much I like them compared to like the Leo association now. That might be too much moving people around though. You could go down, honestly. Support passive, Chef Gregor would be much higher. His support passive, he's the kind of unit that's really good benched, and that's it. He's good benched, he's a nice support to Ryoshu, although her passive doesn't trigger too much. It triggers more in the actual, like, mirror dungeons now, thanks to keeping the resources. But it's hard to say. I don't know, I might be satisfied with this, all things considered. There's definitely a lot of new things that I think could be changed. I think... Rules getting finishing. Richie's just solidity and Sport of Eruption Camp becomes insane. Jeff Roach is just a bench warmer. Yeah. He's just... I don't know, he just needs to... He's definitely one of the units that really needs just stronger rolls. Just give him, like, better rolls with his Uptie 4, and, you know, maybe he can do something. I don't know. Any final grips, anything, any changes you think are, like, any rankings you guys think are, like, egregious. Like, if it's something you're, like, think is, like, slightly wrong, then it's probably fine where it is. But if there's something you think deserves significantly better, significantly worse, now's the time to bring it up, because I might be about to move on to the next tier list. I'll give you guys a chance to make any final requests. We'll see. I definitely think I've been trying to listen to, like, the community opinion on a lot of the things, but I also have, like, things. So Telp put W Faust in C tier. Her Telp's, like, significant. Her Telp's kind of... Is it pricey? It's a little pricey, all things considered, and then you can't use Fluid Sac. It costs lust. If you're using a charge team, you're not gonna have lust, like, at all. You might, maybe. There's, like, no lust in charge, though. The passive is very funny, that's for sure. Spend less charge count. K-Corp is ruining his mid-low C at best. Their kid is literally dysfunctional. Oh, that's true. Yeah, you don't deserve to be here. Maybe, like there. He's funny, but I don't know. You don't really use it, though. That's the thing. Because you'd have to go away Fluid Sac to use her Telebol. I can agree with that. Maybe move her down, maybe move someone else up. Is Envy electricity? That's a good question. I actually don't know. Because it looks like it's like thorns. Which doesn't make sense because we've got, like, grass here. I think her Rodion kit is pretty bad. That's true. I actually don't think I've, like, ever used her much at all. I don't know why I'm giving her such a high ranking. Mid. Do I think she's, like, there, maybe? Maybe. Maybe like that, yeah. Thank God Rose Rodion is so good. We'll move some people up then. You know, move the tanks up. I can kind of agree with the whole, like, idea that tanks are better than they once were. They're, like, fine. This guy's got... Actually, this guy's kind of awful, isn't he? I'll rank you, like, there, though, maybe. Yeah, Envy... I mean, like... As far as I can tell for, like, this... Like, the actual sins, like... Wrath is burn, lust is bleed, sloth is tremor, gluttony is rupture, gloom is sinking, pride is poise, and envy is charge. Everyone Encore Murder would be at least B tier, arguably one of the best solo units. Only wasn't fatal the worst things to be fatal into the game, blunt. I'm not ranking these tiers off as soloing, because you can solo with pretty much anything if you do well. I do agree, he's really funny, his counter is very funny. I'm not ranking these based off of solos. I'm ranking them more off of, like, group runs, because, like, solo runs are kind of... Like, it's a Project Moon game. If you've seen what some people have managed, you know, I think I'm satisfied with this. Wow.